I was just thinking about incense right now, and I know I've done videos on it before. I'm gonna put this on Minas as well, though, or Wayward Minas, so that's gonna be new for you guys. Um, I've talked about making incense and everything before, but I haven't really gone into incenses I prefer. I really actually prefer stick incense, even though just because of the scent and everything, it doesn't always have like. I know sometimes I'll buy them and they'll have like these weird Indian names and stuff, and sometimes I'll look at the contents of how it's made, and there doesn't seem to be any real um, of any real herbs in there. They say they have oils in there, but I'm assuming that they're fragrance. So if you're going to use them in ritual, I don't really think that they're bringing anything into the ritual other than like possibly calling on the element of air or whatever, depending on what path that you follow. Usually I tend to make ritual loose incense out of different herbs and stuff corresponding to the workings I'm doing. But those can also smell really bad, burning them on charcoal. Some herbs, you'll think like, oh, these all smell so good. You mix them together. Okay, I read in my Cunningham Encyclopedia or whatever book you're using. I tend to use Cat Ironwood's her hoodoo herb book. I don't have it with me. Um, and then they'll blend it all together and like, this smells amazing, and then they'll start burning it and they're like, oh god, and it ruins the ritual because you're like focused on the smell the whole time. Some blends are really nice. What I've decided to use is that you can get self-lighting incense, and this is probably like one of the few things I actually buy from Azure Green. I use my business license with them sometimes to get candles and stuff from them that I'll use in rituals and different things, or like I'll resell them here, and like I've gotten them for different covens and stuff and resold them. And I buy this incense powder, and I use these and as a base for my ritual loose incense usually because it gives it a better smell. It kind of masks some of the herbs, and I'll use whatever. Like this one's supposed to be fast luck, but the problem is like I always assume I have to assume that it's fragrance oils. If those essential oils are really scenting this, it wouldn't be as cheap, and these are fairly cheap. These are incense powders. And so basically if you're using them, it's like using an incense stick. You can call upon the power of air, but I don't really feel like it has any like spiritual base other than having saltpeter in there sometimes as a base. And I know the sticks sometimes are saltpeter based, or they made out of cow dung from all the grasses and stuff they're burning well. But the problem with the self-lighting incense is that you have to clean out your cauldron or whatever you're using every time. It smells so bad. The ash from it makes the incense smell dirty, so you have to clean it out every single time you use it, which kind of sucks. But then the good thing about it is I'll pour a little in a bowl, and then I'll take my fingers like this and scrunch it so that it has lines, and then I'll light the lines, and then it's also compressed more so there's not as much air in there, and it's easier for it to start burning. And so that's nice. And then when I use it in the base as my traditional incense, which is loose incense. I guess it's not so traditional of this though. It helps keep it burning and everything, and helps mask scents and stuff, but you still gotta clean it out. And you're burning on charcoal, but the self-lighting powder isn't gonna burn the other herbs, really, so you have to still use charcoal. So, and I know those cones are the same thing as the incense sticks as well. I like using the sticks because they don't make a huge mess. You're not leaving it in a cauldron or a pot or anything. It's gonna stink. You just throw the ash away. It's like leaves a little line of ash. Get rid of it, and even if the ash falls on it again, if you don't clean it out right away, it's not gonna smell. It might make a mess, but it's still nicer. I don't really like using the cones because they don't always seem to light and they don't always seem to burn all the way. So I feel like they're a waste. And also whatever dish you put them in, it tends to burn the dish, like leave a big old mark, which is not pretty. I feel like when I want to look at my altar and stuff, I want to see some sort of beauty. I don't want to be distracted by this big burn mark. I guess it doesn't really matter to everybody, but it can be distracting to me at least. So I guess there's pros and cons for every incense, actually, because I told you traditional loose incense can smell bad and can distract you from the workings you're doing, especially if you're trying to meditate or something and all you smell is like rose. I feel like smells terrible when you burn it. That's why usually when I mix it with something, like I just made an incense that has rose and white sage in it, some other things. I put the white sage in there to kind of mask it and also for the properties. I'm like, I lost my train of thought because my sister's in the backyard. My mom's like, oh god, that is a big hole. They're talking about some hole they dug or something, or a gopher hole. But yeah, and I know resins and stuff that's part of the traditional incense are probably my go-to ones because I like how they melt over the charcoal. It looks kind of cool, and it's always smelled good to me. So if you can, just stick with resins if you're, depending on what you're looking for. If I'm looking for a property of something but incense, I'm usually trying to just clean things out, so I'll use camphor or frankincense or dragon's blood or something to empower it. But I love incense. I'm constantly burning it. My mom's been complaining a lot. She usually doesn't complain about incense because she loves it, because I've been burning this stuff because I have so much of it, because I bought like the huge 1-pound bags. Like, it feels like 2 of these jars or 1 bag. Because it's not like condensed or anything. If I pushed it down, maybe I could fit more. But she could smell the dirtiness of it when it's if I don't clean out the cauldron. So I'll put it over salt usually, and then burn it. And I was like, oh, this ash is fine, because I'm used to other ashes being in there from different things. Because usually, generally, just using cleansing over and over and over again. And you can stink. I mean, it can stink. So now I usually don't put a base in there. I just pour some in, do the little finger thing over them, light it, and then get rid of it. But also, I like that too, because it makes me aware of my cauldron, and when it needs oiling and whatnot, I can see sometimes where the salt has like messed up the cast iron and everything. So it's nice to be reminded to clean it out and make it nicer again. Yeah, that's my little video on different types of incense. I'd like to hear what your favorite type is and what you use, how you feel about using incenses that are fragrance oil based, and in your ritual, if you feel like it harms or doesn't or adds to the ritual. And yeah, thank you for watching.